Welcome to the interview. This time in English and with Fons The Bun. Hello, Fons.
Hi, Lupo. Hi. Thank you for having me. Yeah, this time we had to get it in English.
This time in English, but for our German viewers, subtitles will be available. At least I hope so. The usual stupid question also for you. If you would be a pizza, what kind of pizza would you be?
Well, if I was a pizza, I would probably be a Diavolo. Because I'm kind of spicy, with all my energy and stuff. I think that spicy reflects that a lot. And I guess that Diavolo pizza is just my favorite. So I will totally be a Diavolo pizza.
Yeah, I totally understand that with the energy and such. Yeah, I can totally see that.
Yeah.
Fons, how did you come up with the name? Fons, that is.
Well, it's really easy. Well, I think it's not even a secret anymore because in all of my music you can see my real name because of copyright reasons. I have to
Mm.
disclose my real name. So my real name is Alfonso, and you can see
Ah,
why Alfonso is just well. When I was a kid, my mother used to call me Fonzie, but I thought that Fonzie was too cringe, so I decided to go with Fons, and I just fell in love with the name, and it got stuck in, and people basically just call me that now. So that's how it came to be.
okay, that's a nice story.
Yeah, it's kind of simple. I mean, a lot of people have like, I mean, they tell me, "Oh my God, I got this because of this and because my persona and stuff, and because they have a big lore behind it." And I'm just like, no, it's because it's a short way of saying my name.
Short but sweet. Um,
Yeah, thank you.
you are obviously a bun, so how did that came to be? Why bunnies?
Why bunnies? Well, I don't think much people know about it, but first persona was actually a cat.
Hmm.
I don't know why. That was actually my first persona. All the idea because I never had a ref sheet or anything developed for it. Maybe I was 12, 13 years old back then.
Okay.
Um, but then I came to the realization that I thought that bunnies were the most cute animal that I ever seen. And when I was a kid, I used to have bunnies at home, and
Hmm.
so I don't know. I was just like, yeah, I really want to have a bunny persona. And one thing is that I my personality is really extroverted. I'm really but it also comes that I'm really clumsy and I'm really hyperactive. And that's a thing that Bonnie's success at being clumsy as hell. So just say, well, it's gonna be a Bonnie, and that's how it came to be.
Also, it fits your energy. I can totally see you're hopping around all day.
Absolutely, absolutely, all day.
So, may I ask, where do you live?
I live in Duisburg, in Germany.
That would be a personal horror story for me, just moving to a totally different country, not even country, different continent in that case, knowing nobody and just being basically just dropped there and, well, see what you want to do, go for
Yeah,
it.
I just really needed a big change in my life, and
Um,
I really wanted to, experience life from another perspective. And honestly, in that country, I mean, there was no. It was way too not literally, but well, also literally, but it was way too small for me. And I just wanted to have another lifestyle, and that's the thing I couldn't have developed there. Especially also taking in mind the furry fandom. The furry
yeah.
fandom was a big factor in my decision because I really wanted to be immersed in the fandom. The number of furries there are 34 furries. There's no conventions, no permits, no one with fursuits. So I just wanted to move to Germany and be close to the people that I relate to the most, and study here, get a job, and have a life for myself. That's what I did. So yeah, I guess I succeeded somehow.
As far as I can tell, it worked out pretty well.
It did. I mean, it was really tough because I really didn't know anyone here, and I didn't know. I mean, one thing is the things they taught us at school, about how everything works, but there are many things that they don't tell you how they are, and a big curve. I had time to learn about how everything
Mm.
works here. It took me at least a year to get used to Germany and how society works and how everything works. but I guess I did it. So that's the important thing.
So congrats on that. And yes, there's basically a metric ton of unwritten rules you have to go
Yep.
by in
Yep.
Germany that nobody tells you about, but you have to know them anyways.
Exactly. Yep. I learned the hard way.
I can imagine. Fons, how old are you?
I'm currently 22, turning 23 in 15 days.
I hope you have a big party planned.
Oh, actually, yeah, we kind of do. We kind of do.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
May I ask, what's your current job? What are you?
I'm currently studying audio engineering and music production. But
Makes sense.
my current job, my day job is a IT supporter for a company which I cannot mention the name, but it's a company that specializes in electronics and consumer products.
So you're one of the surprisingly big amount of furries somewhere in the IT sector.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, most of them, I think. I mean, I think 60% of the people I know work in the IT industry, somehow developing or doing this type of thing. So yeah, it's a pretty common job for furries, I think.
Indeed, if you took away the furries, the internet would crash within 2 to 3 days, I bet.
Oh yeah, yeah. I am pretty sure that whenever a big furry convention is hosted, like Eurofurence or so, like all the companies are low on personnel, like IT personnel, because everyone is there
But
basically. So
well, there's a reason for the EF to share the location with Germany's biggest convention, or is it a yes? It's a convention.
yeah,
Germany's biggest convention of nerds, the Chaos Communication Congress, which is basically just a bunch of nerds packed into a congress center, which
yeah, yeah,
is which is also how I would describe your reference. Anyways,
yeah.
um, but you said you were also studying. What are you studying exactly? I didn't quite get that.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm currently taking a break,
Mm?
but I am in my second year of BA.
Hmm.
How do you say that even?
A
What's
Bachelor of
the
Arts.
Bachelor of exactly? Thank you. A Bachelor of Arts in Audio Engineering and Music Production. I mean, engineering. It doesn't have anything to do with civil engineering or so, but it's called audio engineering, which is just resume how to move buttons and how to make everything sound good to the ears of the person. So and music production, which is the whole process on how you start making a song, how you compose it, how you come up, how do you grow up from the idea until you make something that's worth listening to. So basically, that's what I'm studying right now.
Well, I have heard you have some experience in that field.
I mean, working experience. I don't have any working experience, but hobby-wise, I think, yeah,
Yeah.
kinda couple of experiences already.
Yeah, I bet that not many of the people you're studying with have stood on a big stage before.
No, not really, not really. Most of them, yeah, most of them, they're just they just really want to be behind the screen and producing in their
Mm.
studios, which is one thing, but the other thing is doing that and also playing on stages, which is completely a different world. Performing is a different world, but it's cool because I know how everything works, and I want
Mm.
to work as that somehow. My dream job will be just helping young people make music and make their ideas be listened to, and I really hope that I can achieve that someday.
Well, I wish you the best of luck because
Thank you so much.
most young musicians they really need a bit of support
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah. I,
get
I mean,
out.
I went through that. I mean, when I was like 12, 13 years old, I was trying to record my music professionally in a studio, but no studio took us seriously back then. So I really want to help, especially like teenagers and stuff that
Mm.
don't really have the know-how or know how to do these things. I want to support them, and I really hope that I can make that happen someday.
So I guess music really is your passion then, not only
Oh
playing
yeah.
it, but also uh, producing it and helping others make music. So Music seems to be a really big part in your life. Is that correct?
Yeah, music is currently the biggest part of my life. I think it's the most important thing and the most relevant thing that I'm doing aside from the furry fandom. I mean, I have been doing music way back before
Mm,
actually doing stuff inside of the furry fandom realm,
mm.
and it's just my passion. It's just the thing I live by, and I cannot go a day without listening to songs to music. So yeah, you could say that is my passion. Yeah.
Do you know how that came to be? Why music of all the things that are available to you?
Well, since I was a kid, I think I can attribute that to my parents because my mother basically forced me to play violin since I was 8 years old. I think she
Mm,
put me in like after class from school to learn violin, and so I was trained in classical music back then until I was around 12 years old. I decided to quit because I
mm,
couldn't stand just playing. I mean, violin, and don't get me wrong, like this type of instruments and orchestras and everything like that is so fascinating and wonderful, but it was not my calling, and I really wanted to play something more hard, something I don't know, more punchy, something that will move people and make people dance somehow or jump. And that's why I tried to go into the drum set, but I couldn't. So I started just getting into like school classes of bass. Um, and I was in class maybe for 3 4 months, and then it was all on my own. So I teach myself to play bass basically with YouTube videos and just following covers online and trying to play along them.
mhm.
And how then I learned to play guitar. How I learned to play guitar because of my best friend, because he played guitar too, and just watching him how he played inspired me a lot, and that's how I learned guitar by myself too. So yeah, that's why. I mean, I also was like since young too in the theater. I was a a theater kid, so I was
Mm.
all the time in like theater stuff from school, and I think that also brought it up that I'm so into music and stuff.
But you're not only playing music, you're also playing in Fursuit. Why?
Yeah.
Just why? Isn't it exhausting enough to be on stage and just making music? Do you really need an extra layer?
Yeah, you don't know how much times I hear this question. The first thing I will answer you, and the short answer is why not? But
Okay, fair point.
but the second and longer answer will be I don't know. I'm really connected to my persona, and
Mm,
it's a part of me. It's who I am, and being able to. I mean, the only real way, kinda, to bring that to life and to the eyes of others is through a fursuit,
mm,
and since music is so connected with me, it's such a part of what I am, and my persona is to. I just wanted to mix those two things together, and that's how I was like, yeah, man, let's do it. And I just took the initiative and I started playing concerts like with my acoustic guitar and going outside on conventions, like on outside on the I don't know outside of the venue and
mm.
playing with my acoustic guitar thing I do since then. I think the first time was at Eurofurence 2022, yeah, 2022 in Berlin, the last one in Berlin, and since then I'm doing it. So yeah, I mean, it's extremely exhausting. It's probably the most extreme thing that I've done in my life, sports wise. I mean,
Mm.
I sometimes, I mean, it's not just about playing the bass, you know. I mean, it will be simple if I'm just there playing the bass or playing the guitar and nothing else is happening. But take in mind that I have to sing, and I have to move, and I have to interact with the audience, and I have to interact with my bandmates, and that's extremely tiring, mentally and physically. I mean, the singing part is really hard, and it's something I'm trying to. I'm trying to. We're trying to figure a way with my band to make it easier for me,
Mm.
because breathing is like an extremely important part of singing, and in a fursuit you can only get so much air from outside. So we're trying to figure out a way to get me more air into my system so I can sing better, and I'm not feeling like I'm going to pass out every time I scream or so.
And you're screaming a lot, at least during a concert. So yeah, I
Yeah,
can
yeah,
imagine that being a big problem. Um, uh,
yeah.
uh, but on the topic of singing in fursuit, I bet that a bunch of people are asking how. So how do you get the sound from inside your fursuit head outside to the world?
It's just magic. No, I'm joking. It took a bit of time on tinkering, to be honest, and we're also trying to develop that because I mean we played this year 7, 8 concerts in total, and what I tried first when I didn't really know how to do it, I was like, I just literally put in one of those microphones that people usually sing to into the mouth of my fursuit, but like that's so uncomfortable. I mean, you saw it yourself. I was playing the concert at, I think you were there outside of the Euroference venue this year, and I had to put my microphone inside of my mouth, in the first mouth, and it looks so wrong. And it's so uncomfortable because I cannot move myself, and I'm someone that in stage likes to jump and dance, and
Yeah.
so we're thinking how to do it. Oh yeah, we can use one of those headset microphones. I remember seeing one of the guitar players of one of my favorite band, U2. He also has a headset because he likes to move on stage a lot, and he couldn't stand in front of a microphone the whole time, so he uses a headset. And I was like, okay, let's try that. And then I got myself a headset wireless microphone, and that's how it works. It's a really, really thin microphone, really, really small, which goes inside. Like I put it on my head. The little microphone capsule is in front of my actual mouth, and it stays there. Then the cable is a really thin cable. Is gone through my fursuit head down into my how do you say it? Into where close to my legs, where I have a belt, which is a wireless transmitter, and that thing connects to a receiver. And that's how it works. But we're trying to right now figure out a way of doing it better. I think I will have to embed the microphone into my fursuit, so because on stage it moves a lot, and I have to adjust it with my paw all the time, and it's really annoying and it's really distracting for me. So yeah, we're gonna try to embed the microphone somehow into my fursuit head.
Okay, I understand. But even a moving microphone is better than eating the microphone, like our dear viewers can see right now in the background, because we have some footage of it, and just enjoy Fons eating a microphone. Anyways.
Yeah, thank you.
But back to the furry side of things, you you said you got into the fandom or in furry things in general at a relatively young age. How did that came to be? How did you stumble about the fandom?
Sure. So, I really like theater, and I told you that a couple of questions ago that I really like to act and stuff. And one part of acting is being in costume and stuff. And I really have a big affinity for animal costumes, and I really didn't know why. Then I discovered that there were people doing cosplay, and that was just like people actually put themselves in costumes just for fun. And I was like, okay, there must be like people doing this for animals and stuff. Okay, I attended some like Comic Cons with my parents, and I like tried to do some cosplaying from, I don't know, popular animal characters and like cartoon characters or Sonic or stuff. And one day I was just researching through YouTube ideas, and somehow I got a recommendation for a video from I totally forget the name of this guy, but he's a popular YouTuber that records mainly furry conventions and stuff. And he did a video of the Fursuit games at Anthrocon the year prior to it. I don't know if I'm wrong, but I will probably say 2013 or 2012. And I clicked on it, and my mind was just blown. And I was like, oh my god, there's actual people that do the same thing I love. And I was like, yeah, this is my thing now.
Well, and it stayed, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. It was. I mean, I felt for some time like when I was a kid. I mean, I was like, fuck. Probably I'm the only person in this world that really likes doing this type of things. And then I stumbled in that video, and then I just started digging into the furry fandom. And I was like, oh my god, there's actually a whole community, and like there's thousands of people all over the world
Yeah.
doing the same thing I like to do. It was just a really important moment in my life, I guess.
And then you fell into the rabbit hole. I see.
Literally into the rabbit hole.
um, you said you went to a lot of conventions to play there. How about just visiting them? Are there things you like to do at conventions
Yeah,
besides playing music?
there's some conventions I decide to take a break and not play because, being honest, whenever I have a concert, the convention is really stressful. I have
Mm.
tons of planning in the months prior to it, tons of meetings, tons of things to fill, like papers to fill and things to do. And when I'm at the convention, I cannot really have peace because I'm way too excited or nervous before the concert actually happens. And then after the concert, I'm exhausted, like really, really, really exhausted and mentally
Mm.
exhausted, and it's just like yeah. That's why there's some conventions that I actually just decide to go and not play. Um, one of the things that I like doing there, the most important thing for me is friendship. So
Mm.
hanging out with my friends, people that I cannot see regularly because they live far away. Um, Getting to know new people, taking pictures, attending some panels. Yeah, that's I think about it. Getting to know the cities too, because I get a chance to visit to a convention that is in another city that I really don't know very well. So I just take also some time to just run around the city and
Ah,
make a little bit of a tour aside of just being inside of the convention center.
yeah, I get that. It's really interesting to get to a place or even a country where you haven't been before and just explore things and see what's different and discover what's the same and so on. I can totally
Yeah.
see that. What about other hobbies? We have talked about your furry shenanigans and your love to music. What else do you like?
Oof, I like cinematography a lot. I like filmmaking. That's a very good thing. I mean, it was either between music or filmmaking,
Mm,
and I was between what I was really wanting to study, and I decided upon music because it was the thing that was bringing the most happiness to me.
mm,
Um, so filmmaking is the thing. Photography is the thing. I have been doing pictures since I'm like 11 years old. I was always stealing the cameras of my parents. I mean, back then, like smartphones and smartphones with good cameras at least was not really a thing.
mm.
So you always had those small compact cameras, and I would always steal the cameras from my parents and just take pictures around and stuff. And they noticed that, and they got me an actual better camera than that for my own for my birthday.
Oh,
And
that's
yeah,
great.
I just started taking a lot of pictures. And when I grew up older and I could get my own money or stuff, I bought myself a good professional camera, and that just exploded. And I just kept doing photography for the next 6 7 years.
Are you still enjoying it?
Less. I still have my camera equipment and lenses collections and stuff, but I just don't have any time anymore because it's either doing music or
Mm.
being with my friends at Furry. It's a thing I'm trying to improve though. I would really like to do more pictures. Um, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes 24 hours in a day just isn't enough.
Absolutely not. Yeah, absolutely not.
How about furry media in general? Something that you like?
I mean, I think everyone started with my Gyra Strawberry. I think that was my one of the first furry media I stumbled up onto.
Mm,
Then let's see. I don't really know too much about movies about the furry fandom, specifically more about the documentaries that there are around. Of course, Kinora's videos were a very important thing of my in my path too
mm,
that I discovered, and looking all just the crazy stuff he was doing. Furry convention videos. I cannot mention the YouTubers' names anymore because I totally forgot, and I don't really see much furry media anymore in YouTube.
mm.
When I talk about photographers now, oof, it's a big list. I wouldn't have end up ever going through it. But there's a guy. Well, now you mentioned underground. Actually, now now something came to mind. There's a friend of mine. He's called Devonshire. He's part of the Placeholders Club. BR thingy, and he is specialized. I mean, it's not like he literally specializes, but it's his thing. I will say he does a lot of vintage stuff with like old cameras, film cameras. He actually goes even far away of like recording in actual 8mm or 16mm formats. And then, you don't know how expensive the film reels are for those. Like every minute is like 30 euros or so.
Oh God.
Yeah.
At last Eurofriends, I think I saw someone around with a 8mm film camera. Maybe that was him.
Yeah, most probably. I think he's the only crazy guy that's doing this right now. But his videos are gold. I really dig the return to analog media. And whenever he like takes pictures of me with his film cameras or videos of me with his 8 or 16mm cameras or even VHS or Super 16, it's just amazing.
Yeah, old stuff. It kind of has its charm, and that's me as a collector of records talking. Anyways, you said you have been basically inside or with the furry fandom for a long while. What kept you with it? So, what do you like?
I mean that the first I will probably answer your question in a different way, but the thing that kept me most hooked to the feeling, I will say, and the thing that what's like my that is going to be the first thing. Actually, when I decided to move to Germany, it was like the first thing I'm gonna do is get a fursuit. That was a long, long dream of mine. Since the day I discovered the furry fandom, I really wanted to have a fursuit, and of course, between the age of 13, 12 years old until I was 18, that was not really possible. And of course my parents did not know about this stuff, and if I explained it to them, they wouldn't understand at all. So I mean, my mother knows already. She sees all my concerts whenever I play. She sees the live streams, and she knows what I'm doing, and she still doesn't understand it completely, but she's really supportive about it. That's the important thing. But that's the thing that kept me hooked the most at first for all those years. Having a fursuit and getting furry friends and just being part of the fandom and living it, because it's different when you live through it behind the screen and when you actually live it in your own. Oh my God, I'm gonna say super cringy now. In your own fur. So yeah.
Also, we're furries. We are expected to be cringe. So
I know.
just go for it. Okay. But not everything has just positive sides. What would you say are the downsides of being part of the furry fandom? What grinds your gears?
The drama. The drama is I mean, everyone was complaining about it the very first months or like the times I was here in the fandom here in Germany, and I never experienced it firsthand. Well, I still haven't experienced it firsthand in the way that I have had a drama with someone or been involved in one, but I had seen it happen to people I know, and it's really disturbing sometimes. I really despise just logging onto Twitter or logging onto Instagram, and the first thing I see is people fighting over really trivial and, in my opinion, stupid things. So that's, I think, one of the downsides of the furry fandom, especially now with the rise of social media and stuff. I think that people sometimes take themselves too seriously, and I think that if people didn't do that too much, then a lot of drama will be avoided.
Yeah, I understand. The curious thing is, drama is one of the top answers to these questions. I have asked countless people by now. What's the thing that you dislike the most about the fandom? Drama, and it's also the thing that always pops up everywhere.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, just in the last couple of months, there has been so much stuff going on, and I'm just sometimes left with a migraine of reading all the things that are going on. It's not like not only local but also international wise, and the scale that these things go to. It's sometimes really disturbing, in my opinion.
Yeah, that is true. That is sometimes it gets out of hand really fast.
Yep,
Um,
yep.
is there anything else you would like to say to whoever is listening right now?
Well, just I'm gonna sound cringe again, but doesn't matter, and I'm gonna sound corny as hell. But just don't give up on your dreams. I think that's the thing that I tell everyone that asks me how have you done so many things and how have you. I mean, just that I think that surprises a lot of people is that I just from one day to another decided to move to another country in the other side of the world and without knowing anyone and stuff. But I had a dream, and I think that, of course, dreams are not a thing that you will achieve, like they will give, and that life will give it to you in your hands. But it's something that you have to put a lot of effort, time, and love into. But dreams are achievable, and I'm pretty sure that anything you put your mind to, you will do it. I mean, I have been reading something. I mean, sometimes we think that our lives suck or something now, but just look yourself 3 years ago or 4 years ago, and you will realize that most probably you're in the place that you have been wishing back then, and now you're wishing for something bigger, of course. But what is
But
stopping you that these things will happen in the next 4 years? So much can happen in 1 year.
yeah, also having dreams is what keeps most people going.
Yeah, that's the way to go. Dreams are the things that hold us up, I guess. And again, just don't give up. Keep doing it, even if the path seems impossible. If the doors keep being closed, there's gonna be a point in which things will start working out. I think that everything works out at the end. And if it's not working out, then it's not the end.
Exactly, and there's always another door.
Exactly.
Enough about the cringy stuff. No, no, wait, even more cringy stuff. Who would you like to
Oh boy.
greet?
Oh boy. Well, I want to start greeting my mother, my father. No, I'm joking. I want to. Well, let's greet all the friends that I have met in these 3 years here in the fandom in Germany. All the people that have stuck onto me, and that keep being there for me. I'm extremely thankful for every single one of them. Um, I mean, saying names without relevance or like a top tier or anything. Of course, to Bluebell, to Mirion, to Juniper, to Kenora, to Jensen, to Syntix. So many people, man, that I can name right now, but it will be impossible to end. But I'm just extremely thankful for everyone that has been part of my life in these 3 last years, and that they have been there for me. I'm just it's just a thing that I never imagined in my life, that I will have so many friends that has stayed with me through the dark and the ugly, And yeah, I think I want to greet everyone that has been with me in this last 3 years, and I'm really wishing for many years to come, and many more people that will join my little dream, and come with me. I'm just so thankful for them.
That's really wholesome, and I love it.
Thank you.
Um, One final thing, where can people find you and your music on the internet? Where can they listen to you? And yeah,
It's
where?
spamming. I'm gonna spam you guys now. All right. Well, first, I think any streaming platforms. I mean, if you want to listen to my music, any streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, you name it, it's everywhere. Also, if you like to listen to my music, but you don't like the commercial platforms and you don't want to pay, just go onto Bandcamp, which is an open platform for anyone to upload their music. It's completely free. And my music is there for free to stream, to download. You don't have to pay anything. You don't even really need an account. So you can just go into Bandcamp.com, I think it is. And yeah, just look for Fons The Bun and you will find me. If you like to find my social networks, I'm also found everywhere in every single social network with Fons The Bun all together. And yeah, that's about it.
And there will be a bunch of links in the video description where you can scroll through, click on, and, well, just listen and look on things. Fons, thanks for being here today, and thanks for answering all my stupid questions and all my cringy stuff. And
no question is stupid, but really, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it, and it's a total honor for me.
It's just a small YouTube channel. Anyways, next time on this small YouTube channel, we have another person in next week, and maybe another musician. We will see. So until next time, have a nice day all together.
Bye bye.
Bye.